So we got to watch this, right? Is what you're saying?
I will watch this, so you can if you would like.
All right. Well, I may still be getting through the MJF and Adam Cole promo by that point in time. It's only 2 weeks away. I'm going to say this. Long MJF is better than anybody else on the show, long or short. But this was testing things for me. And I'll tell you why. Because from the time that MJF's music played and he came out and started talking and cutting a promo on the people of Colorado to the time that this thing got wrapped up verbally was almost 20 minutes, 18 minutes. And there was no life to this. They can talk their ass off. But besides the fact that it went on so long, they did more damage to each other, in my opinion, than they did to build the match. I might have wanted to see the match before they started talking, after they finished with each other. I'm not sure I want to see either one of them against anybody else. I've never seen such real life. I know we always say wrestling should be real and real emotion, but when you tell all the fans what is legitimately wrong with both of your two of your top stars and why they shouldn't like them, and you're telling the truth, is that productive or counterproductive? And Adam Cole came out 2 minutes into the thing. But just as soon as MJF had said he's got no competition, nobody's on the level of the devil, then Adam's music plays. It takes him 2 minutes to get to the ring. But then MJF proceeded to vent at him for 7 solid fucking minutes while Adam Cole just leaned in the corner and kind of smirked and or nodded like, oh, that was a good one, or just listened to him. And they were in opposite corners of the ring. And remember, I've said in the past, you shouldn't be right up on a fucking guy and say some shit that he ought to punch you for and him have to listen to you for 5 minutes. But I'm not sure, Brian, if Adam Cole could have easily walked across the ring and punched him about 3.5 minutes into that 7-minute saga. And I'm not sure why that MJF couldn't have said all those things about Adam Cole and then had Adam Cole do all I can stands, can't stands no more and come out. But he put him over at the beginning, MJF did. Yeah, he looked up to him in Ring of Honor when he was a kid. My God, I feel old. I'm wearing socks right now that I had in Ring of Honor. You know, but he put over his hair. He was jacked. He had a tan. He was great in the ring, great on the mic. He was great everywhere. He was the greatest world champion in the history of that company in Florida, and that's undisputed. And then MJF said, I couldn't wait to wrestle you, and I figured we'd have an unparalleled rivalry. And then he said, and then this guy showed up. What happened to you? The Panama Playboy to the Panama Game Boy. He mocked him for not having a tan. Britt Baker's got his balls. His body is shit. He said, you're so frail, you make crack whores jealous. And then he said some people are blaming AEW for not presenting Adam Cole right, but he's had every push possible. So he just apparently is a failure. And then MJF listed his accomplishments and went on, and then said that he heard that Adam Cole only came to AEW because Vince McMahon didn't think he was a top guy, and MJF thinks Vince was right. And I mean, my God, I felt like fucking throwing Adam Cole a box of Kleenex or something. I was afraid he was going to fucking break down and cry by the time this verbal assault was finished. And I'm thinking, boy, he's going to have a comeback. And he got the mic and his first word was, really? Really? I said, what the fuck? So he turns around and mentions MJF's fiance dumping him. He's a douchebag. Adam Cole had no comeback whatsoever for the knocks on his physique, which is why that it shouldn't have been brought up. But he said, "You're talking about my body of work." No, he's not, and nobody thought that. And he tried to deflect it, and then he dares MJF to piss in a cup.
That was incredible. I can't believe that.
He told the entire... So now the entire national television audience has been told by the world champion that his apparently next challenger looks like a goddamn, chain gang solitary confinement convict that's been let out of the fucking hole, and he's 120 pounds skin and bones. And the champion has been accused by the challenger of being on the sauce.
I'm not out of shape. You're on steroids.
Yeah. And then he says, "I swear on my life, nobody in the locker room respects you." That sounds like one of those fucking AEW Cucamonga Click ribbon on the square type of things. And then he says he's selfish, conceited, and lazy. And the fans, nobody respects you. And the fans chant, "No respect, no respect." And MJF says, "Well, that's tough talk coming from Keith Lee's manager." And
again, can I just say something? Though I'm laughing because it's funny. It's funny because it's inside nonsense that doesn't belong in this segment.
So they just, again, they've just torn each other down rather than building their confrontation up. And then they're not even going to have one until finally Adam Cole calls MJF a coward and says, "You won't fight me because I'm better than you," and they know it. And then MJF loses his mind suddenly and says, "I'll fight you anytime, any place, anywhere." And of course, Adam Cole accepts and leaves after outsmarting him. And did I mention in 18 minutes?
MJF is great. The problem is, who's he going to work with? And it seemed to me watching this, I mean, I know the payoff was him making fun of Adam Cole excessively while Adam Cole stood there and took it, like you said, and then had no good comedic comeback or any kind of comeback at all. But MJF built him up. And everything he was saying, you're like, yeah, he was that guy once. And then you're looking at who he is now. And
Nice reminder that the old gray mare ain't what it used to be.
I think MJF, the same way he tried to build up his opponents in the four-way match, he tried to do it here with Adam Cole. The problem is Adam Cole's coming off that Jericho feud, which was terrible. Had the worst match ever on a pay-per-view. And now he's all of a sudden here. The people like to pop for his music and his catchphrase and his pointing and everything else. Crouching. I don't know what he looks like. He's going to take a dump. MJF should have kicked him when he did that right in front of MJF. Why didn't MJF just fucking kick him? Just kick him in the nuts or in the face. They're both right there.
He exposed his balls.
So, I mean, the problem is Adam Cole. The other thing is this. People like Adam Cole. People previously ended up liking him because he was really good as a heel. His best role is as a heel. And more than likely, because of his physique, make him a chicken shit heel. It works then. Then he could play to all of his strengths. He could do all the super kicks and thigh slapping he wants.
Well, but the problem is that he went and got himself hurt and was out for so long. He got immense amounts of sympathy from the fans, and they were glad to see him make his return. And so now they don't want to boo him because they just got him back. They missed him because he went away, but look at the state of him.
They're running out of MJF opponents. It hit me during this. You know, we've talked about Orange Cassidy.
They've got to do another match with Darby. What the fuck? Why is that not being continued?
Darby, you would think?
He fucked Darby. He fucked Darby. Darby should want a rematch. Darby should be campaigning instead of fucking around saving the goddamn company mascot. He should be demanding the opportunity to work his way back into contention with single match after single match till he gets what he wants.
Did we ever get resolution on what happened with him and Sting? Remember Sting showed up to confront him? And then we never saw Sting and MJF together again.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, Sting showed up to tell him off. Everyone just shows up. You know, you can't blame him. This is why heels get sympathy sometimes. This guy's fighting back. All these people just show up to tell him off. He beats him to the punch. But they're running out of opponents for him because we've seen Moxley. Don't need to see that again. Punk is the one that's intriguing because that story still lives. Like, there was never a conclusive ending to that. But I don't know if that's the thing to go to right now, but who else? They haven't built anyone up. Who have they built up for the world champion?
Well, besides the fact that the Punk and MJF thing was not resolved, Punk left as the reigning champion and was injured.
That's right.
So, but the thing is, there has to be time taken because Punk can't lose, but they don't want to probably take it off MJF right now. Anyway.
Maybe they can create a second world championship. The Collision Universal Championship.
You know what? Because MJF only wrestles every so often. They've been making a big deal out of it.
That's right.
So now they'll have the working man's title. If they can find anybody to work. There weren't any of those people in the next match.
Do you want to see Cole versus MJF after that?
No. No, I don't.
Like, and you said it went too long. Like, there's a way to have this. So MJF gets some hits out. Cole comes out and confronts him. Instead, it turned into the whole thing. And I'll talk about it a little later with Callis. Maybe Cole should have come out without his music and confronted him. It would have been quicker, but maybe it also would have been better.
Well, but then it left more time for the next match.